Hello, my name is Graham Curry from the Public Transport Research Group at Monash University. I'm here to tell you why public transport's important for the future of New Zealand. I guess we've always known that there are groups in the community who really have no mobility and are disadvantaged in relation to transport. You know, the young, the elderly, disabled groups, unemployed groups, the list goes on. Said to be 18% of the population in Victoria. But in addition, there's another group, people that haven't got public transport, haven't got very high income, but need to have mobility, and they often end up spending too much money on cars. This is the transport poverty group, known to be 6% of the population in Melbourne, 25% of all low-income groups, and this group is growing. It's a big problem when the costs of transport grow. But another important issue with public transport goes way beyond this. And affects all of the world, really. Since 2007, the majority of the world's population now lives in cities. And by 2030, that population will double. This is the millennium of cities, where humanity is in cities and where those cities are growing. And this is coming to the region. Melbourne and Sydney are both projected to be larger than London in 20 years. And it's coming to New Zealand as New Zealand cities grow. And the problem is one of opportunity and scale, but you also need efficiency because we have a lot of people in a small space. Great economic and social opportunities, but we do have a problem of scale. And what's the most efficient way of carrying people at scale? It's public transport. Railways, light railways, buses, bus rapid transit systems are the biggest and fastest way of getting people through small spaces there is. The space taken up of the actual different modes, for carrying 50,000 people every hour, you either need a 175 metre wide roadway, a terribly ugly thing, or one railway line. And this diagram here shows the environmental impacts of each of the modes. And cars, petrol-driven cars, even depending on the types of electricity you're using, are very inefficient and they cause lots of impact. Whereas biking and walking for local travel and public transport for travel over some distance is both space efficient and it is efficient in terms of emissions. But the car is causing huge problems in our cities. This is the problem of car dependence and the congestion it causes in cities. This is Melbourne in 2004. This is Melbourne in 2021, according to forecasts. We have got congestion problems growing throughout the cities, and we can't really build our way out of this. This is in New Zealand as well. The costs of traffic congestion in Auckland are said to be up to $1,300 million every year, New Zealand dollars, and it was said to have increased by 18% since between 2014 and 2017. Big issue. And the space efficiency of public transport really comes to the fore with growing cities. In Melbourne, we had a choice between one metro line, which would be the equivalent of 19 freeway lines, or building 5 sets of new large freeways. Which, if you're looking for a future for a city and you need to expand, are you really going to build more freeways? Are you going to build 5 of them? It really is quite a simple choice of scale. And worldwide, there's very few cities now building freeways. They recognise the problem of the urban freeway as causing ugly cities, problems, and really causing growth in car dependence, which is something we need to move away from. There's another problem which is not very well understood. For the last 2 decades, really, we've had plummeting car occupancy. So we've been building roads, which are filling with cars, with less and less people in them. It's a real problem that we need to be more efficient with. And in addition, young people really are moving away from the car. This is an analysis here of all the world's evidence on young people trends over time, of the share in different countries of how many of them are taking up car licensing. And as you can see, there's a global shift away from this for young people. And young people are the future, really, of our cities. And in addition, car production levels have fallen. Another last point really about this is that public transport really encourages walking, and we've had a big problem in the world with health of the population. And as you see, populations in different countries which have more walking, cycling and public transport uses have lower levels of obesity rate, and obesity is being a growing problem in our society, particularly for young people. Large, wider health benefits of public transport systems. Well, there are many other benefits of public transport systems I don't have time to go into, but I think you should be aware that really the future of all societies on planet Earth are about developing alternatives to the car which are efficient and which meet our social goals and help our economy grow and be successful. I'm Graham Curry. I'm from the Public Transport Research Group. If you're interested in the work we do, we're at ptrg.info. We run the Researching Transit podcast. Thank you very much.